Dude, insane. This thing is like...
Many months later.
Our top three included racer number 669, Sergio Rosa. Woo! In second place, number 527.
So, it's been a very, very crazy, wild, fun year.
Yep.
Started the year off by picking up this thing, although it's not in its original trim, so to speak, but picked up a 2023 KTM 450 SMR, Supermoto, the fabled and tried and true Supermoto. Because I figured, you know what, want to do something different, and plus our friends really kind of poked and prodded us into this direction. But I said, you know, I wasn't going to get the 23 S1000RR. I kind of talked myself out of that, and I said, you know what, I want to get into racing. We have Loudon right up the road. They have a Supermoto class, the lightweight class. A lot of people run these up there. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. So no, absolutely zero regrets. I'm not looking back, and 1 year in, I'm an amateur pace, and I'm like a second and a half off of expert pace for up at Loudon. So I'm doing 23s now. Goal next year is to get into expert, so I got to run 21.5. So I think I can do it. I think I can definitely do it. I have the pace to push hard and make the expert. So let's talk about the bike real quick. So it is a single cylinder 450, good for like 62 horsepower, I believe. This thing is the GOAT. It is ready to, out of the box, it is ready to race.
This is the SMR version. This is not the, you can
no, it's
get
the SMR.
You
can get the 450
yeah.
XCF or
Right.
EXF. You can get the dirt bike version of this, but the Supermoto version, right? The SMR. Brembo brakes, golfer. We'll take you through Brembo brakes, golfer rotor in the front. So it's got some pretty high-end componentry right up front. It's got WP ear forks. The shock is their standard KTM shock. Comes with Metzler Supermoto slicks, again, right from the factory. It's literally meant for just going out and having a good time.
It is a turnkey race bike.
It's a turnkey race
from
bike.
The dealer. Actually, it doesn't have a key, but...
ready to go. I mean, literally, even the moniker, right? The KTM moniker, ready to race. This thing is literally ready to race.
Yep.
Stock gearing, it's got the stock gearing. I think it's like I forgot what the teeth were in the front and rear, but the long and short was to do big road racing, right? Yep. Regular road racing. All you have to do is change the gearing and chain. So front, rear sprocket change and gearing, and that's it, and chain, and that's it. I have a few slide protection things, a belly pan, right, to be compliant with the rules of the club. But outside of that, the thing is ready to rock.
And safety wires and bolts.
And safety wires and bolts, which you can get kits for they already come pre-drilled.
Right.
All I have to do is safety wire it. Bike's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It teaches you a lot about riding. It teaches you a whole lot about riding. Because one, you don't have a lot of power. So right off the bat,
don't let this bike fool you. It doesn't have a lot of power,
but it does.
It is, yes.
It does. It's got 62 horse, but it
is quick. It's not fast. It's quick.
It's quick.
It is very quick.
The bike moves, but you got to think about it in the perspective of you have 62 horsepower at your disposal, right? And you just need, especially on big road courses or bigger road courses, right? You have to learn corner speed, entry, and exit. You have to learn that. You have to learn that you are especially for a sport bike rider, coming from a sport bike background, so to speak, you no longer have that mechanical pre-front loading of having a sport bike, right? So you have to learn how to really modulate your brakes to get that front end tucked in a little bit, right? Get over that front end. So you really have to learn how to trail brake. You have to really understand the geometry of the bike. I'm still getting it's a year and I'm still getting used to it. But that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of this bike. I mean, we could talk about the specs and this and that of the bike, but I think it's more the conversation is more along the lines of somebody who wants to get into racing. You can go a bunch of ways, you can go whatever. We chose, and we'll get into you in a second, we chose to go the supermoto route. Frankly, because we have friends that have it, but the second thing was we started realizing that a bike like this is gonna teach you a lot. If you're willing to put in the time and the seat time to it's gonna teach you a lot inherently, just by getting on the bike.
Yeah, I think the bike will, in the long run, make you a very skilled track rider. I think it's really going to hone in a lot of your skills that when you do finally, if you do ever, because I think this bike can be forever almost. I think you can literally ride this thing for as long as you want. I think it's well equipped to do that. But if you ever do decide to keep going up 600s, 750s, 1000s, I think this bike will really hone in on all your skills to really master those bigger bikes. Correct. Which, I get it. You will probably never ever master those bigger bikes. You're never going to be a Motor America rider or
Valentino.
Right. You're never going to be somebody top dog that can take it to the max. But it will definitely push you to understand the bigger bikes and really just drive your skill to become the fastest you could possibly become at your skill level.
Exactly.
And I think this bike really drives that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Some other kind of notables on the bike, right? It honestly, there's not much to really talk about with the bike because it is such a niche bike. Only those that are really, I feel like if you're looking at a review for these bikes, you really are, your mind is already half made up at this point because it's such a purpose-built bike that you're already in the market to go get one. It's either going to be this or the Husky, but they're the same bike. They're the same bike. Or you want to convert your dirt bike into a supermoto, right? And you're probably weighing options of, should I get this versus should I get that? And what I will say about that is, you consider a supermoto conversion between wheels and brake and new brakes and stuff like that.
I think suspension, the front
probably
end,
front end suspension. You're probably looking at like maybe $3 to $5 grand in that ballpark, because wheels alone are gonna cost you like, decent wheels are gonna cost you like $1,500 a set. So like a Behringer brake kit or a Brembo brake kit is gonna cost you like another $1,000, easy. Rotors, like golfer rotors or whatever, it's going to cost you, so you outweigh that with, do I just buy a new KTM 450 SMR or a Husky FS 450? Again, they're the same bike basically. 11, or let's just say $13,000 basically out the door.
Right, with
taxes, everything. Yeah. You have a bike that is just ready to go. It's your track bike.
Yeah.
And it's not only a big road course track bike, because obviously you can just change the sprockets, but it opens up the world of actual supermoto racing, meaning short track, go-kart track racing, right? So it opens up a whole other area of racing, or riding for that matter, that probably was closed off to you, and now it is available to you because you have a bike that obviously that can do that kind of stuff, right? So that's the other inherent benefit of it. You kind of open up a whole door of riding possibilities with this bike. And, as I've been riding it, I've been learning more about the bike. It's got a quick action throttle. It
has two tunes.
I don't think I even changed it from the beginning.
It's got launch control.
It's got launch control that I never use.
Traction control.
It's got traction control that I haven't spun up yet. Because again, trying to be as fluid and so. Again, I think I started the season. I raced in the Loudon Classic. Well, not the Classic, but like that weekend. That was my first real race, right? I think I did like a 131, 132. And then that was round 3. And then by round 5, I was already in the 20s, like 125, 120. So I was shaving like big seconds off my time. And now I'm at 123. I'm an amateur now, no longer an officer, an amateur class. And it's just like being with faster riders really pushes me to go, a little more faster. And that race where I did plug in those 123s, it was a 25-minute race, timed, no laps, 25 minutes. So it's like that's a long time.
Do you feel like you use a lot more energy to wrangle this bike than you would on a
This thing is, if you're somewhat in decent shape, this bike is nothing. This bike it doesn't feel.
I imagine that because it's so lightweight. It doesn't take as much to maneuver. But I haven't ridden one yet. Like I took this one like up and down the road, but I haven't been on a track with one yet, so I don't know what kind of physical demand this
somebody
bike has.
Like yourself or somebody that's experienced rider, this is going to be a breeze to ride.
I forgot his name. The guy who sold you the rain tires.
Oh yeah.
He's like 55, I think he was. And he rode that thing in the rain the whole day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The whole day he was riding.
He loves riding in the rain, yeah.
He was just out there, and I'm like, that's what really, really sold me. Like, I mean, you've been selling me on this bike slowly. Like, I'm seeing you get faster. I saw that one time you crashed, and I'm riding back. Oh, I hope he's okay. This dude's right behind me already. Like, he's already pulling back in. Like, he crashed, got back up. The bike was just fine, rode right off.
Yeah, that's another perk
like
about
that
it.
was like to me that was a huge selling point. Like, obviously you don't want to go down, but in an event you do go down, you want to be able to continue the rest of the day without like, okay, now I got to take off the
everything.
It's just everything. Whatever you got to do. And this bike crashes like a dirt bike.
It's not invincible.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, let's say that, but it crashes a little better than I'm going to say that, right? It's going to crash a little better. You get the appropriate slide protection.
Right.
Probably some sliders for your if you want, but it's it allows you to it at least it gives you the opportunity. The bike gives you the opportunity to explore your potential. If that, if you want to really make it cliche, it gives you the opportunity to get out on a road course. Know that you don't have 100, 150 horsepower at your disposal. So you have to learn how to ride fast. You have to learn how to ride a slow bike fast, which is, I think, the goal of any person who wants to be a good rider or even a racer, right? Take a bike like an RC390 or this KTM and just absolutely poop on, I'm going to say folks that, think that 600, 700, 750s, 1000s are, that's it. That's be all end all for speed.
I will say the people that are probably looking at this video have probably gotten destroyed on the track by one of these, and you're like, what is this thing, and what am I looking at? What is this thing really? And you're probably coming to this video and going, I got destroyed last week. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Do I need to get this bike? The answer is yes. You need to get this bike. I mean, I have not ridden one, but I got one already. Right?
Yep. Yeah, so we have a new addition to the family. Yeah. You actually purchased a 2024. Yeah. Which is phenomenal. I'm ecstatic for you, and
I was so excited.
I was smiling.
I was today.
Yeah, you're picking up today. I was smiling. I was so ecstatic that you were picking this up.
Right. And really, I'm at the track and I'm watching these people that are riding these just flying by any bike. Doesn't matter even at the highest level, unless you were really, really fast on like a BMW, S1000RR. These people were destroying the majority of the bikes out on the track. And I'm like, I think I gotta go in this direction. I think I gotta dial my horsepower back, really understand what I need to do as a rider to get better. Because I wasn't really progressing, and I was starting to feel like I was getting farther away from the pack than I should be. And I'm watching you get faster, which is great. I want you to be as fast as possible. But I'm watching myself get slower, or you're getting more distance from me. And I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to be stuck here. I want to progress as a rider because I truly enjoy being on the track. It is a lot of fun.
Yep.
And, coming from riding bikes that always need to be worked on, you're like, okay, this has got to be fixed. You got the electrical issues here, the oil's leaking here, suspension, whatever. I was like, you know what? I got tired of it. I said, I'm done. I'm watching these guys just bring it on there, put the tire warmers on, and then just riding it. They're crashing it, put the tire warmer back on, going back out there. I'm like, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna dial it back, get a smaller bike. After what these people are probably doing, go and look at reviews, and I was like, I think I'm sold. The fairing kits are almost endless.
Yeah.
They're super cheap.
Yep.
Right.
I just slapped on some sweet graphics kit from what's it called? I even forgot the company, but it's you can really make these your own, which is really cool. It's like a dirt bike. You can really make them your own.
Yeah, absolutely. So. I purchased the bike yesterday or today, whatever. I'm like, dude, send me some links so I can scroll for the next 3 hours. And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
It is so, the options are just endless to what you can do for a sticker design. The plastics are cheap, which I'm probably going to get. I'm going to keep the OEM ones nice and fresh. You can just take them off. Because you can get these for like $150.
Yep.
Fresh plastics. Another $100, $150 for a sticker kit or, a graphics kit.
Yep.
You go to buy, you're paying $800 just for,
Because again, this is a dirt bike. This is basically, most of it is most if not all the components are from a dirt bike. Right. It's just you have the other bells and bits and bobs, brakes, the wheels, the brakes, rotors, obviously that make it that turn it into the actual supermoto. Yep. So I think you went in the good direction. I think anybody that anybody that's kind of looking into racing or wants to get their foot into racing, you can get on any bike, endless options. You can get that. This is an alternative. The only reason why I kind of would say this is a good route to go is that you're able to do the short track stuff. Yep. You're not necessarily relegated to you know, short, big tracks or small tracks, with the quick change in gearing, you can, you know, and when I say big tracks, you're not going to Road Atlanta. You're not going to Barber. Right. You're not going to those big, those massive
you're going
tracks.
To your local tracks.
You're going to local tracks,
local,
like think NYST,
right.
Loudon, you know, mile
Jersey,
tracks, mile and a half tracks. Yep. Jersey's probably a little too much for this, but you know, it's like you're not necessarily limited, right? And then again, the platform being as it is, it's tested, it's proven. You know, you can grab shit off of a Husky, put it on this. You can grab stuff off of a 23.
That was also another selling point for myself, because every time I go to the track, we pretty much go together, right? Or we go with the group that we always go with, and I felt like it was a good to have interchangeable parts. And you know, something happens. Hey, do you have it? Do you have it? Which, when you go to the track, most people have whatever bike you're riding on. Somebody's gonna have that bike.
Somebody's gonna have something.
But you gotta go start asking people. Hey, do you happen to have it? Somebody's gonna. But now I got a friend who I go with regularly that we can just go. Hey,
swap parts.
Hey, I need brakes real quick. Oh, I got a spare right there. Go take it. Right, like we could just really quickly if we need to. And it's not just us, because now we got two others that have a 2023 Husky and a 2020 and 2023 KTM. So now we got 4 people that are we can interchange with, if we need to.
Right, if you need to.
You know,
so.
if he's got rain tires, I'm like, he doesn't want to go out. I'm like, can I borrow your rain tires? Like, yeah, go take it. Now it's a quick swap. Now I don't have to like, I gotta go find rain tires.
Yeah, now it's a quick.
Get a whole nother set.
Now it's literally I just take tires off this, take the wheels off, and slap them on yours, and you're off, and you're off. So
yeah, I think that was a big selling point. You know, so if you have friends that are in this direction, you might want to just tag along with them. I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know.
So I think in conclusion with all of this is, I think people that are already watching this want to get some ideas, right? You can look at the tech specs. You go anywhere, you can see all the tech specs. I think we don't need to be looking at it. We don't need to really be talking about the tech specs. We just need to be talking about the bike does what it does. It does what it does. You can take it for not road trips. You can take it on bigger road courses. You can take it on your go-kart tracks, your supermoto tracks, right? So really, it's for somebody who wants to get into that.
And I'm watching a lot of videos, and it looks cool. I think it's just I'm watching these guys coming out of a turn, and they're just throwing the wheel up, or they're sliding into it. They're just backing the wheel in there, and then just throwing a guy, and it's just coming. It just looks cool. It looks like cool. A cool, like, you're like, oh man. Obviously, I'm probably never gonna get to that level, but like the fact that I know that the bike can handle just hitting the brakes, sliding it into a turn, and then getting out of the turn right away, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's a great selling point as like a just a different style of riding, you know. Yeah. It is, from what I gather, you told me, from things I've seen, it is different than a sports bike in that, like, you're not throwing in your knee, not always. Sometimes you got your leg in a different direction. You're using body in opposite ways of where the bike might be, right? You might be throwing the bike in a weird direction. So, like, you know, you saw our friend Tony he was doing the kind of like more of a traditional dirt bike flat track style. Yeah. So he was on the other side, so he's pushing the bike down. So he was getting his lean angle from pushing the bike down. It's got the leg out.
Right. So he was doing more, and that's what, when I went to Super Camp, that's what they were teaching you. It's different, right? But again, you have that opportunity to just swing your ass on the other side. Right. You can do that, right? You got a quick turn you want to make, you can do that. Just again,
right? Because Nate was riding the way we would normally ride, with turning it, you know, putting your leg out, and they were both going at it the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
you know, Nate's younger, I forgot, but
he's 26.
Tony's his name. Tony is 50 something.
That's why there's hope for us.
Yeah,
that's why there's hope for us.
Flying out there. I'm telling you, I watched. So we went on the other side of the track at NYST, and we were watching them just go at it in the back section, in the rain, just coming down. They're on rain tires, and they are having the time of their life, and they're just throwing it around, and they look like they're faster than any other bike that was out there on the rains, you know. And that really, I'm watching these guys, I'm like, this guy's 55 years old, and he is enjoying the heck out of this bike. He's coming around the turn, just throwing up a wheelie and going into the turn again. I'm like, dude, that looks so much fun to me. Yeah. Right? And not that you can't do it on a sports bike or whatever, but like the agility to be able to do it on this thing just looks different on the track. It just looks like it doesn't belong, but yet it does belong.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
You know, it's like it shouldn't be on there. It shouldn't be going as fast as it does, but yet it's doing it, and it looks cool when it's out there doing it.
That's why the Motard scene, right? Like all the folks like up at Loudon, right? Oh, you ride a Motard. You're one of those guys.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
Hooligan.
we're the hooligans. it's like the offshoot branch of racing.
I'll
which
tell you what. I
such a
think
niche
this
is all.
KTM is changing the game.
Oh yeah, I think so.
I'm watching. You know, now I'm like more into it. I'm looking at a lot of these videos, and out of the box, I forgot who the guy was. Out of the box, he won the championship. Didn't change anything on it. Just took it and is out there winning championships and Pro Series stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I think this bike. I think KTM knew exactly what they were doing. I think they were like, we're going to destroy this market. We're going to own it, and they do, because really, I mean,
They're pretty much the only name in the game,
right?
For high-end supermoto.
And they are absolutely killing it, because at that lightweight level, you're not touching this bike. There's nothing out there. I don't even think ninjas are touching this bike. I think they really did a phenomenal job with this bike. I cannot wait to learn on it. I cannot wait to get on it and just have a good time. I'm excited to pick it up today. I'm ready to get out of here to go pick it up right now.
Yeah, you gotta get out of here.
It's ready.
It's ready.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're gonna go.
All right, see ya.
That, and then now we'll do the outro. No, I'll just use the same outro.
All right,
All right.
go for it.
I'll wait for you to, for sure. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you want. Honestly, I don't really care if you do, because I'm not making any money off of these. But if you want to subscribe, I post when I can.
This is for fun.
This is for fun. Sometimes
I think this is for like us. Like,
it's for us.
Yeah,
it's mainly for us. So if you like what we do, subscribe. If you want, buy some merch. I have some pretty cool things. I have the link in my link in the bio of the channel. Buy some things. You support us. You support us being able to go to track days to review bikes, whichever bikes we can get our hands on. So, and if you're in the Northeast area, and if you have a bike you want us to review, let us know. Shoot me a message, shoot me an email, and we'll link up and then we'll figure it out. So with that, thanks. See you later.
See ya.
See you.